Hi. So I could have called this the empathy economy, but we've had the digital economy, the sharing economy, the gig economy. We've had enough of that, so I wasn't going to take you there. What I do want to address is how can empathy really help us in how we accomplish our tasks and how we move forward in a way that's going to help us both survive and prosper. First, to clarify, what does empathy mean? It is really being able to put ourselves in somebody else's shoes and understand what is going on with them emotionally. It impacts the transactions, the relationships. It flows through everything that we do in our lives. Okay, so school started a few weeks ago, and who as a kid here has been in this position, and whether you could help her with a math homework or an essay question, you felt for her in her struggle. Or maybe you had a friend over the last couple of months who dropped their cell phone. Oh my God, the frustration. You know exactly how they were feeling. Oh, I've got to repair it or get a new one or whatever that might be. Or who here might have been shopping at the weekend with a friend? And whether they felt your commiseration because those jeans didn't quite fit you, or maybe you were celebrating with them this perfect jacket that they found. This is empathy. And it's no difference in the workplace. Whether you're helping a colleague deal with the fact that their boss has just yelled at them for something, or they're frustrated with a coworker who isn't pulling their weight. It is sharing that joy and just feeling their stress and trying to help them with it because you feel what they're feeling. I put it to you pure and simple that empathy makes the world go round. And I'm going to focus on the business field and specifically the workplace where empathy has been sorely missing, and we need it. We need it to make operations function better, relationships be improved, and to help the bottom line. I feel some of you thinking, hang on a second, doesn't money make the world go round? Okay, so how far has that got us, huh? I will address that a little bit later, but the key thing is that the management, the control and command management models and theories that we've been working on for the last 100 years, they were based on the premise that money alone was the motivator. And now there's so much data to prove that that is not the case. So how do we see empathy typically coming up? I mean, how we experience it in the business world? Well, sales, in terms of really trying to put ourselves in the shoes of people who we want to be our customers, so we can create positive conditions so that they'll buy our stuff. And we also try and engage with them and try and understand how they connect emotionally with our brand, so they'll buy more stuff and become loyal, long-lasting customers. We understand very clearly that trying to understand their emotions, how it impacts our bottom line for the business. What about our employees? Personally, I think we have done, going back to that money motivator thing, we have done a really bad job of treating people like human beings in the workplace. We treat them like cardboard cutouts, sort of dispensable, like those robots that we fear now. Money has not been a simple solution. Have you had a boss like this? Or maybe you have one now. So just a thought here. Who has a boss that is a great leader, who empathizes with you, who puts themselves in your position? All right, okay. How about the other side of it? How about, and be careful, you don't have to put your hand up if somebody might be next to you, who acts like a jerk sometimes, whether it's a colleague or a superior. Exactly. So no more hands, just in case that person is nearby. But how did that make you feel? Did it help your performance, or did it undermine it? Or maybe sometimes that person actually made you feel like quitting. So empathy matters. It really matters in how we can understand the other people that we're working with, or the people who are working with us in a team. Otherwise, how on earth can we motivate and engage them to do their best work? How can we understand what they're really enjoying? Because what they're enjoying, they're probably good at, and we want them to do more of that. Or if they're really stressed, how can we put ourselves in their position and kind of work out how we can maybe work more, in a flexible way so that their stress can be alleviated, and they can focus and do their work better. 51%. That's 51% of the company that you're working in right now. Those people who are not engaged are not doing their best work. They're not coming up with the best ideas, like, yeah, that'll work, okay. They're not developing the best strategies. They're not executing plans to the best of their ability. Presenteeism is a new word which is given by the Global Corporate Challenge to the state of an employee who comes to work and is just physically there. They're present, but mentally somewhere else. 57.5 days. This is a huge number. Can you imagine how much economic value is being lost in your company because people are just going through the motions? They're barely there. But it's not just a question of inaction or low performance. If your company is not trying to help the employees really understand what they're feeling and really helping support them, they're going to be thinking about quitting too. And that's expensive. Paychex did a survey last summer, summer 2016, and it was about what caused people to leave. Number 3 reason was the employers didn't care about their employees. There was a young man I was talking to, 27, 28-year-old, and he was working for a company that he liked. But there were things that didn't really fit well with him, and he wanted to change them because it really mattered. But he didn't feel that he could speak up. He didn't feel respected. He didn't feel that they cared what he thought. So actually, what he did is he went and got another job. And as he was going out the door, he did care enough to tell his boss and say, "This is why I'm leaving." The boss rallied, tried to get him to stay, but it was too late. So this stuff matters. That company lost a great asset and lost an opportunity. On the flip side, I was at a company a couple of weeks ago, and as I was walking with a woman to the elevator, and she volunteered. She said, "You know what? This is the first out of about probably 8 employers I've had who likes their employees." That really struck me. She really cared, and it made a big difference to her. So there's a company called Universum that has a global workforce happiness index. Now, I'm not trying to convince anybody to be happy, but there are some interesting components to that index. The first is worker satisfaction. So they survey employees to find out how much they're engaged in their work, how much they enjoy it and are fulfilled by it. Secondly, it's about how much they will recommend it to other people. Your company wants and needs sites like Glassdoor to have reviews about your company that are going to be good and help attract and certainly not push away people that you want to come into your organization, particularly in a tighter labor market. And last of all, how likely are they to leave? So a company that has a high rating on this index basically is a company that cares about their employees, that actually has those employees be ambassadors, brand ambassadors, to go out and not only help with the products and services, but also in attracting new good talent to your organization and reducing turnover. So what can be done at your company to really use empathy and through empathy improve the situation so that it can be more productive and improve the bottom line in all kinds of ways and the situation for the employees? Well, what would you like? What would make you work harder and want to stay for a long time at your company? A corporate culture, values that resonate with you, that you can connect with, that you really care about? Empathy is a key characteristic of leadership these days, not just at the top, but all the way through the organization. Respect for employees and transparency, communication that is authentic and genuine. Managers who are coaches, who really connect with the team members and understand how they're feeling so that they can do their best work. Regular performance check-ins, vacations that are taken, and people are not emailed during their vacation. So I'm not suggesting that anybody has to sit in a lotus position in a chair. But the woman who I referred to earlier said it very well. She said, "I feel wanted." That expression of connection that she felt, the loyalty that she was expressing, and the work. It was 6:30 on a Friday night in New York. The traffic was bad, and she had already told me she had a lot of work she still had to do. But she was there, and she really cared because she felt they cared. So perhaps you guys can put yourself in my shoes. Well, you don't necessarily fit, but and understand how and feel how passionate and how convinced I am of the need to bring empathy to your organizations and what a huge impact it has, not only in the world, but in your business, in the relationships that you have with your vendors, with your suppliers, with your colleagues. It really makes a huge difference in all the relationships and transactions. So if you can help your colleagues, bosses, team members feel cared about, put yourself in their position so that they can feel that you care, the economic upside is all yours. Thank you.